Hello students, welcome once again in the next lecture of the English grammar. In the previous lecture we have seen the applications of the nouns, pronouns and the auxiliaries, the basic structures. So auxiliaries functions as the linking verbs and the nouns and pronouns as the subject. So simple 2 or 3 words sentences we can form there generally for information transferring here and there. So we have seen this one. Again, the remaining part I had given to you to complete with the nouns, that is pronouns plus auxiliaries, but now in the expanded form. First auxiliary with the pronoun, the plain pronoun was there. Downside it was given as the negative form, means positive and negative. For example, if I say I am, I amn't, am I, amn't I, like that. So this chart was completed, and the next charts you were given the task, the homework. Again I have dictated here the to be past tense. There are total 5 forms of the to be are there. The present tense am, is, are, and the past tense was, were, the to be forms. See the sentences how they form, the simple sentences with the pronoun plus auxiliary, was and were. The use of the was and were is given already in the last charts. I had told you to learn them very well, very fluently, without looking into any textbook, any dictation. You must learn them and say. The 6 charts are there. I am, we are, you are, he is, she is, it is, there, like that. Here I was, we were, you were, he was, she was, it was, they were. The chart is given expanded form. I was, the plain positive. I was not, or I wasn't. Very plainly I can say. I was or I was not. Then was I and wasn't I. Questions, they are called which type of questions? In the previous lecture I have told you these questions are called verbal questions, to get only confirmation, yes or no answer, and very simple structure. Just one change is there. The auxiliary is taken in the beginning and the subject is taken afterward. This form is known as the auxiliary question. This is known as the auxiliary question. So you will learn it one very well. I was not, rather than very fabulous. Was not, full form, rather than it is wasn't, very well. So I was, I wasn't. Was I, wasn't I. Learn these charts also very well, because they are the basic of tenses, the structure of the sentences. You are going to come ahead to follow this one after this topic. We are going to learn about the next, about the preparation for the next topic, how to frame the questions. That is. Then I was, I was not, I wasn't is the very fine one. Was I, wasn't I. We were not, or we weren't. Were we, weren't we. You were, you were. You were not, you weren't. Were you, weren't you. This is the singular were, you. And this is plural. Means when many people are there before us, we use you, but this is plural. You were, you were. You were not, you weren't. Were you and weren't. In Marathi also we can say that you were, tu hotas. You were, tummi hota. This is the changes there. Next, he was not, or best way, he wasn't. Was he, wasn't he. Then you have to complete she. He, she and it. I have not given here complete chart of the he, she and it. She and it is in the same way. She was not. or she wasn't, was she, wasn't she. In the same way, you have to write yourself it. It was not, or it wasn't, was it, wasn't it. So complete yourself. And they were not, they weren't. Were they, weren't they. Like that. So this is about the past tense of the to be forms. Now have and has. Have and has you have to complete. To have present tense, have and has. See, I have not, I haven't. Very fine, I haven't. Have I, haven't I. We have not, we haven't. Have we, haven't we. Like that. You have not, you haven't. You have to fill up these gaps. I have kept incomplete. You have not, you haven't. Have you, haven't you. So you have to fill up these gaps yourself. Very well. So this is about the have. Have, I have, we have, you have, you have. Then he has, she has, it has. See very clearly. He has not, he hasn't. Very fine way. Has he, hasn't he. The yes no type questions, positive and negative. Has he, hasn't he. In the same way, she has. You have to fill up these gaps. Then it has. And finally, they have, they haven't, they have not. Have they, haven't they. So these gaps you have to fill up. She has. Here negative. Has not. Hasn't. Has it. Hasn't she. Like that. And here one more thing is there. 1 minute. Correction is there. Here has she, hasn't she. And here it has not, it hasn't. Has it, hasn't it. Like that. You have to fill up these gaps with the simple forms of the pronouns. And somewhere you have to use auxiliaries also. So learn this chart very well. I think again there are 3 charts remained. The charts of the, I think you have to complete the charts of do, does and did. These 3 charts are remaining. These 3 charts for your own study. Same. I think we have completed the charts also. Do, does. I remember very well. I have given you in the last lecture how you have to say with the pronouns. I do, we do. You do, you do. He does, she does, it does, they do. Go back to your previous lecture or dictate in the notebook and then complete the same type. Suppose if you use I do, I do not, I don't, do I, don't I. Just you have to replace these auxiliaries in place of have or has and use do. So remember this chart very well. I have given you do, does, how it is used before the pronoun. I do, we do, you do, he does, she does, it does, they do. And did is the same all over. I did, we did, you did, you did, he did, she did, it did, they did. This chart you have to complete on your own. First, use of the do and does. Then the expanded form. How? I do, I do not. I don't. Do I? Don't I? Like say. Positive, negative sentence. Positive, negative, yes, no type question. Verbal question. Then after I, you have to use we. We do, we do not. We don't. Do we? Don't we? Like that. Then you do, you don't, or you do not. Do you? Don't you? Like that. After do, he, she, it comes with the does. He does. He does not. He doesn't. Does he? Doesn't he? Like that. Means these 3 pronouns are there. He, she, it. They are the third person singular. They takes always the verb with the yes. Here has instead of has, does, does not, doesn't, does he, doesn't he. So you will get a very well idea of these do, does and did. Both three charts remain there, but they are remained kept purposefully because you have to practice yourself. Previous chart are given very clearly. I do, we do, you do. Read this chart, and after taking I do, we do, complete the expanded forms of them. So first positive, once again the negative, in the both way. Negative is in both way. Have not, haven't. Do not, don't, like that. Does not, doesn't. Did not, didn't. Same way you have to complete the three charts of the do, does, one chart, and did one chart, I think. Not three, I say two charts only. Do, does in one chart and did in the one chart. So after all completing all these charts with the expanded forms of the verbs, that is auxiliaries, how the negative auxiliaries are used, and then how the positive and negative questions are formed there. So very simple structure of the forming the question is auxiliary first, then subject and question mark. It is very easy to learn and understand, but if you practice continuously, then it feels very easy. Otherwise, without practice, only on the paper or by listening to others, it seems very easy. But the thing becomes so easier when you prepare yourself with a lot of practice. The very easy easy way is to start these topics first, very simple sentences, and then we are going to next one, how the structure of the English sentences is there. So you know very well, after all learning these charts, you must have completed or understood yourself. You must have understood yourself very well. After learning these charts, you have surely understood the structure of English sentences, that is subject plus verb plus object. Right now we were using these pronouns as the subjects, nouns and pronouns functions as the subject, and after that we use verb, not like in Marathi. मराठी मधल्यापेक्षा इथं आपल्याला रचना थोडीशी वेगळी आहे. कर्त्यानंतर लगेच क्रियापदाचा वापर होतो आणि मग ऑब्जेक्ट or maybe sometimes any complement, any other words we can join, like that I told you in the beginning, or some sentences were there. The same sentence, I was busy. This auxiliary is there, means this is verb but auxiliary, subject plus auxiliary as a linking verb and complement. Any complement is there. So this is a simple form. Now we are learning this form of the structure of the English sentence, subject plus verb plus object. Now these verbs are main verbs are there, like listen, the activity of listening. Then the another verb I have taken play. So see these sentences: I listen music, we play football. So very simply I have given here subject plus verb plus objects. Subject plus verb plus object. Here I have given very clearly. These are the very simple and very basic topics are there. Some students may think that, sir, we know all these things. What we have given us in the first 3 or 4 lectures, that is the classification of the class of the words, that is parts of the speech, how the words are classified into different 8 groups. These 8 groups are called the parts of the speech. And these parts of the speech are formed as per the function of the any word and its reference. So same word can be classified into different categories. We have seen this one. So we must know this one. And after this, learning the classification of the words, how the words come in what sequence, they form the structure we have to learn. That is basically, first we saw here the pronouns plus auxiliaries. They also form the form to say something and construct some simple sentences. And again we are going to learn about the main verb. Now the question is that suppose if we want to say various different actions of the different time period, the same pattern will not be there. Just basic is there, subject plus verb. Yes, very well. कर्ता अधिक क्रियापद ही रचना इंग्रजीमध्ये आहे हे कळलं, परंतु आपल्याला जर वेगवेगळ्या काळातल्या घटना सांगायच्या असतील आणि विविध ॲक्शन्स आपल्याला सांगायचे असतील तर केवळ एवढ्याच रचनेवरती आपल्याला भागणार नाही, तर त्यासाठी आपल्याला पुढं आपल्याला अभ्यासावं लागेल टेन्सेस. सो बेसिक understanding must be there, and after that the expansion. When you come to know the basic theme, the structure, which words function as the subject, which are the main verbs are there in English, and what are their forms. Now to understand the various actions and different time period, we must learn the tenses. So again you have to focus over the next topic of the tenses. How many types of tenses are there? Which time is referred by which tense? What is the English name of the tense is there? What is the Marathi name also is there? And we are using the same structure there, subject plus verb. But next time the verb will not be only the single one, because for the different time period the forms of the verbs are used, and for that we have to study the different forms of the verbs for the basic study of the tenses. So if I take the same verb listen or listens, see what I will say here. Suppose if I take this the same verb as the example, what will happen here? Listen or listens, L-I-S-T-E-N-E-D, listen. Listen. Listening. And the last one is there, to listen. So this is one example is there of the different forms of the verb. So every main verb in English is classified into 5 forms. The first form is known as the present. The second one is known as the past tense. The third and fourth are known as the participles. Both of them are known participles. This is past participle and this is present participle. See, past participle and present participle, both of them are participles, and the last one is known as the infinitive. Infinitive is always formed with 2 plus main verb. This form is known as the infinitive. So this is the basic preparation for the all types of tenses. We must learn the 5 forms of every verb. You know this ing form is used for continuous tenses. This is for perfect tense and this is for the simple past tense. Again we are going to learn many more words or verbs. But first you have to listen and complete this kind of verbs. Suppose if I take another example, go or goes, present. Went, simple past tense. Gone, past participle. Going, present participle. And to go is the last part. So in the same way you have to collect at least 10 verbs. You have to collect 10 verbs. So 2 works are given to you. The first, the completion of the to be charts, then to have, and then finally do and does chart is remained there. I have told you in the previous dictation, you have to complete first do, does and did chart. Go to the first previous lecture, collect the information about the do and does. I do, we do, you do, he does, she does, it does, they do. Expand their sentences with positive, negative, positive, negative. So first positive, negative sentences, then positive, negative, verbal questions. That is yes or no type questions are there to answer them. After that, you have come to understanding the subject plus verb plus object structure is the structure of the English sentences. Here examples are given, and for the more understanding and very great number of sentences and structures, we have to learn the basic topic of the tenses. And what is needed for this topic? The 5 forms of the every main verb in English. You will understand 5 forms. So names are given there: present tense, past tense, participles, that is past participle and present participle, and infinitive 2 plus 1. Like that you have to collect at least 10 verbs yourself. At least 10 verbs in this category. You have to complete like that. 10 verbs. When you will collect such verbs, so basic knowledge will be completed there with the basic charts of to be's, to have and to do, the basic charts, and then you have to come with this one to complete to learn and understand the different types of tenses in the next lecture. Okay, till then, goodbye.